Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this Economic and Cultural Development Committee, this day, the 13th of August 2024. In attendance today, we have... No, that's not... we haven't attended... Jacob, I don't think you're... Are you part of this one?
You're right, I'm not. I used to be. Can you sit there?
I guess it's up to you, Chair.
All right. Just out of the ordinary of everyone else. So in attendance, we have myself, Mayor Harding, Councillor Antonelli. Online, we have Councillor Cullen. You still with us, Councillor Cullen? And then we've got oh, yeah.
Still here.
Great. And then our two observers are Councillor Madsen and Councillor Doyle. Oh, hey, Councillor Madden. And Councillor Madden in the bleachers. We have got an apology from Deputy Mayor Johnnick, and she's asked for a absence of leave. So I move that a leave of absence be granted for Deputy Mayor Nicole Johnnick. Have a seconder. Thank you, Councillor Antonelli. Any discussion? No. All in favour? That's unanimously carried. Thank you. Acknowledgement of country. Ipswich City Council respectfully acknowledges the traditional owners as custodians of the land and waters we share. We pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging as the keepers of the traditions, customs, culture and stories of proud peoples. Do we have any declarations of interest in any matters on the agenda? No? No, not that you foresee? Great. Business outstanding, nil. We'll go to confirmation of the minutes. So I move that the minutes of the Economic and Cultural Development Committee held on the 16th of July 2024 be confirmed. Do I have a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Antonelli. Any discussion? No. Put it to the vote. All those in favour? That's unanimous. Thanks, Councillor Cullen. I can see you there. We had a second meeting, so I move that the minutes of the Special Economic and Cultural Development Committee meeting held on the 25th of July 2024 be confirmed. Do I have a seconder for that one? Thanks, Mayor Harding. Any discussion? No, take it to the vote. All those in favour? Thank you. I see Councillor Cullen's got his hand up as well. So we'll move on to the officers' report. So the first one is the Galvanised Festival of Heritage 2024 preview. If I can have Ms. Gregory.
Good afternoon, Carly Gregory, Manager of Marketing and Promotions.
Oh, thank you, Ms. Gregory. Thanks for bringing us this report. I just want to get a handle on just our attendance of past festivals, but more importantly, what do you feel about Galvanised this year?
What do I feel about Galvanised? Look, Galvanised is really amazing because what we're able to do at Council is take micro experiences and businesses in the city that have, we've got amazing heritage, whether that's cultural, social, built heritage here in the city, and we get to elevate and leverage that with a marketing campaign. So it means that we can really take the time as a team and a council to support those operators because we're not producing events in this festival and we're supporting and marketing those. I think what's most exciting this year is for the first time we have secured $40,000 in state government funding in a heritage grant for this event, which speaks volumes to the quality of what's been presented in previous years. And I think it's really important to note that for us, the key is not always making it bigger and better and more. Sometimes about it's being more selective in our curation. So Wild Foods is a great example. There's so many highlights in it that attract and broaden our audience and bring more visitors to the city. That $40,000 in state government funding is around supporting some of the operators. So it might be paying for a tech or a guide where they don't have that in-house, and for marketing. So that's been both budget relieving for council and budget enhancing for the festival. So I think in here I've put, we had $70,000 allocated. It's important to note of that $70,000, we won't spend all of that, and $20,000 included our support of Wild Foods. So we'll end up spending around $40,000 as a council. So that's been very helpful, that funding. So, you know, usually around 11,000 people attend this festival. I think we'll knock it out of the ballpark this year. And we certainly have plans all the time while we're producing and getting ready for the 2024 event. We're also continually meeting ready for the 2025 event.
Okay, thank you so much. Can I also ask, I just want to get also a little bit of an understanding about our marketing around, because I have seen all the stuff out. I've seen it down the highway even to Brisbane, so that's great. Just want to see what else, on the highway, So what else do we do around
So
it?
obviously we try and make the most of the money, the council's investment. So obviously in our city, we do pay for advertising, but we obviously have our own channels as well. You know, council channels that have large followings, whether that's Ipswich Festivals, Ipswich City Council, our databases, that kind of thing. And then that does allow us to have money to spend out of region to drive that visitation. And visitation is important because it drives greater spend and economic benefit for the businesses here.
Great. My last question before I go to the floor is there anything that that's not on show this time that we might be looking to?
I think definitely in the last few years, Councillor Doyle and the team and I with Destination have had many conversations with the National Trust and the local volunteers that used to be part of that group. Our dream, I think, Councillor Doyle, I would say, is to get a like event of Great Houses back in the city. We did have plans that National Trust might be able to reinstate that for 2024, and that hasn't come to be. So we are continuing to work with some local charities and organisations and experts, of which we have an amazing group of volunteers who traditionally did that in the city. And we hope to bring a like event. We wouldn't call it Great Houses, given that was a National Trust initiative, but a like event like that in the city, because we know how popular it was. We know how many amazing assets and even gardens we have in the city to showcase. And for us, that would kind of be the icing on the cake, I think, as part of this festival.
Great, thank you so much. Any other questions? Oh, thanks, Councillor Doyle.
Thank you, through you, Chair. Thank you, Ms Gregory. I too look forward to reintroducing the open houses, and as you pointed out, it may not be Great Houses of Ipswich, but we can come up with our own.
That's right, version.
Our own approach going forward. Just you mentioned that galvanised is council's opportunity to highlight and help showcase micro businesses and ideas. Do we ever take any of those ideas and potentially embed them permanently?
It's a really great question.
Specifically in relation to heritage, if I could float an idea, Maryborough, through my Queensland Heritage Council role, they do a walking tour, so very similar to the Lost Ipswich guys here. They get dressed up in costume. Is that something
amazing.
We could collaborate with the Lost Ipswich volunteers to help support, uplift?
I think about 2 years ago in Galvanised, we actually did this. So we joined those Lost Ipswich tours and some of the haunted tours with Ipswich Musical Theatre and Little Theatre, who were just phenomenal at bringing that history to life. I think you're right, it's a good time to trial. So definitely there have been some tours that we've trialled in Galvanised that become part of itineraries for weekday tours that come to the city. So it's not just in Galvanised all year round, but especially in those cooler months of the year, we have weekday tours of bus tours that come, and often heritage is high on their wish list of things to see. So it is a really good opportunity to continue. My destination team are absolutely looking at growing the tour market again this year and going back and doing more for Mills. And these kind of events are really good trials for that, absolutely.
Thank you, Ms Gregory. Before we just go on, I just would like to make a couple of amendments to page 22 of the Galvanise. There's just a couple of dates that are wrong. So on page 22, it says in 2024, 10,211 attendees were recorded for this festival. Well, we haven't had the festival yet, so it's 2023. And then further down the page, it says 2025 event highlights include, and so it should be 2024 event highlights include.
Just shows you how excited we are about it. We're looking forward to next year's as well.
Oh,
Apologies, Chair, we've got ahead of ourselves here. We'll make those amendments as it makes its way to the council meeting.
okay, thank you. Okay, so I go back to, so I move the recommendation for the Galvanise Festival, Festival of Heritage, 2024 be reviewed and contents noted. Do I have a seconder? Thanks, Mayor Harding. Open for discussion.
If I may, Chair,
Yes, you may.
watch the door closes. I noticed there's some event highlights here, but I just thought I'd talk about them a bit. The Indigenous Wild Foods and Culture Festival, which is on the last day of this month. We haven't had that here, but it is an Ipswich business, so it's really great that they've been very popular elsewhere in South East Queensland, so really excited to see that. We had Culture on Country at Harding's Paddock last year, that was very popular, but obviously it's a dirt road, a bit of a drive, so having it here at the Turf Club I think is going to be fantastic. The Baker's Ball is like a World War II victory in the Pacific sort of dance. My daughter went last year and raved over it. It's like a progressive dinner. You had drinks and an entree at one place, dinner at another place, and your dessert and swing dancing in the church hall and with the band and lessons and things like that. So it was really fun. I think the steam and smoke barbecue on Father's Day is quite excellent. I think we've had was it beards and bikes in the past, so it's nice to see how this evolves. And the Limestone Frolic on there also later this month is free, and it's a great way for people to learn some of the old dances as well. So yeah, it looks to be really social and lots of fun.
Thank you, Mayor. I too just want to thank Ms Gregory and the team for bringing this report forward. I actually am looking really forward to this festival like I have all the others, and I'm glad to report that I've already booked into a lot of the events already, so super excited about that. And I do agree with the Mayor, though, the Indigenous Wild Foods is going to be one not to be missed. And thanks, Mayor, for explaining what the Baker's Ball is all about, and I'll be there. So, yeah, super excited about that. I must say that I have a number of friends in Brisbane, and they come to our festivals, and they just love it. They do rave about them. They say that there's so much to do in Ipswich. So, yeah, so I'm really looking forward to Galvanise. So thank you very much for all the staff that also... when we've put on these festivals, a lot of it's after hours and it's also on weekends, and the staff go, over and beyond what they need, because they just really love putting on these festivals. So thank you to all the staff. So, yeah. No one else?
I just say, again, I know Ms Gregory talked about it, but it's really wonderful for the Queensland Government to come on board. It shows their commitment to us as well, so it's really great to see that $40,000. That's a lot of money for this festival, so it's really fantastic.
Oh, I totally agree. Totally agree. All right, so I put that to the vote. Everyone in favour? Thanks, Dave. Oh, Councillor Cullen. That's unanimously carried. So we go on to our next report, which is the Nicholas Street Precinct, July 2024, Retail Sub-Project Steering Committee report. Do we have any questions for... Yep.
My questions might be just more the fact that we've approved a few leases in the last few months, just wondering how they're all progressing.
Okay. Do we have... Is it Mr Hepburn? Or is it you sign?
No, I think it's,
Either or.
the names of them will be confidential still, but yes,
We can talk around it, can we, or should we? Yep,
I'm happy to talk about locations, Chair, if that's okay.
yep.
Good afternoon, Chair, Councillors. I'm James Hepburn, Precinct Director for Nicholas Street.
Thank you, Chair. If we go into anything that's confidential, please let me know and we'll go to closed session. The food place we're looking at just near Bottle Alley, how is that progressing?
So I'll talk generally about Eats
yeah.
to start with. There are 5 tenancies in Eats,
Yep.
3 of which are leased to date, which is Stella Rossa, that dumpling, and Open Minds above.
Yep.
And then we have 2 approved deals downstairs, one next to Bottle Alley and then one nestled between Dumpling and Stella Rossa. Both of those, I think if we take back the one between Stella and Dumpling was probably approved a good few months ago.
Okay.
And it's been on a go slow waiting for the Hoyts to progress.
Okay.
And similarly with the one on the corner,
Okay.
that was, I think, last month's approval. That one's actually tracking really well through legals. We have documents out for execution and we're just waiting for those to be signed.
Okay.
But both of those now are starting to, it feels good, the vibe's there. And we're certainly hopeful for those documents to be
Okay.
executed, and then that'll move into handover and the likelihood of design fit out process. So will they open around about the Hoyts opening time? I'm not sure at the moment, but feel pretty confident about them opening before Christmas.
What about the one that's just off to the side of Hoyts, the same level, that other
So
restaurant?
within Hoyts, so within venue, there are 8 tenancies.
Yep.
So we have one on the back that faces Brisbane Street in Ellenborough, and then which I'll quickly update
understand
on.
that, yeah.
That is also progressing well. There's been a lot of tenant fit-out design work taking place, and again, the legal documents are out for a review and hopefully execution in the not-so-distant future. If we move ourselves onto the Nicholas Street side, obviously we've got Hoyts and General Public done, which are both big space users. Down at the General Public side, there is a children's leisure offer
Yes.
that works in next door. Again, design process is going through and documents have been drafted by the lawyers and are out for approval and execution. And that leaves us with 2 restaurants and 2 kiosks, all of which either have offers, approved deals, or heads of agreement starting to take place.
Okay.
So again, we'd like to think the lion's share of that should be open for around about the Hoyts opening.
Okay.
But again, there's quite a bit of design work and contractor procurement to do between now and then. So my general feel is it's going really quite well at the moment, particularly in Eats and Venue.
Okay. And do we know when Hoyts are going to announce publicly their opening date?
We've only today we've got some good news on some of the dates, which I think I need to take back through the team, and how we look to respond. But yes, certainly we'll be opening this year, which is really good news.
Thank you, Mr. Hepburn. Thank you, Chair.
I don't know if this question's for you, Mr. Hepburn, or someone else. I just want to know if we're looking at the Hoyts, maybe October, because of the... Anyway, have we got a marketing strategy? What's that to do? How will we formulate a marketing strategy for the opening of...
So a good few months ago, we held a strategy day where the whole of the Nicholas Street team came together and we worked through similar openings on retail assets that we'd all had experience with. There is a loose strategy in place that works around when the date lands. And the date's landed this morning, which is really good news.
Good.
Helpfully, tomorrow we're interviewing through a procurement process a number of marketing events and PR agencies to support us. And actually later this afternoon we have a cross-party council meeting to start looking at how Nicholas Street events and other teams start to come together to celebrate a citywide opening. Right. So there's a bit to do, but hopefully a positive vibe from now on.
Awesome, feel good. Thank you.
Thank you.
If there's no more questions, I'll move to adopt that the July 2024 Retail Sub-Project Steering Committee Group report be received and contents noted Do I have a seconder? Thanks, Mayor Harding. Oh, sorry, Dave, councillor Cullen. Open
Not
up
a
for
problem.
discussion.
Not a problem.
Oh, did you have any questions, councillor Cullen?
No, I'm all good. Thank you, Chair.
Oh, okay. So second by Mayor Harding. Open up for discussion.
I'm just saying it's good to see things progressing. I think we may be having some more leases coming through, so it's which I think is what the residents want. The community want to come back to a thriving CBD.
I concur with that. I do note the hive of activity that happens around, especially around our festivals, and what our precinct generates. What I was witness to in Spark and the Anzac Day March. So having the Nicholas Street precinct open is going to be a key driver to, I think, our economic bottom line. So I'm really looking forward to, the Nicholas Street precinct opening. It's going to be great. So thank you. So put that to the vote. All those in favour? That's unanimously carried. Thank you. Notice of motions, nil. Matters arising, no, nil from that. So what's the time? 1:22. So I'll close. Oh no. I'll move that the Economic and Sustainability Committee commence at. What's the time? 1:32. 1:32. What did I say? Oh, I'm saying my own committee. So sorry. Let's have that again. The Environmental and Sustainability Committee will commence 1:32. Put that to the vote. All those in favour? Thanks. That's unanimously carried. I'll close the meeting at 12:23. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Ball boys, ball girls. Thank you.